Hello, welcome to another episode of The High Ground, powered by Premier Companies. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
We have a special guest, a new guest in the podcast room with us today, Tangody Fuel.
Hello.
Hello, Propane Supply Manager for Premier Companies. And, Tangody, tell us a little bit about yourself to get us started with.
Thank you for having me. My name's Tangody Fuel, and I'm married to Chris Fuel, and I have 3 children.
One is in the National Guard.
Two.
Two are in the National Guard now.
Both girls are in the National Guard, and our son is 12, almost 12, so little gap there.
He's in the sports and everything.
Yep. Plays a lot of sports, and next week will be 23 years that we've been married.
And your husband has got an interesting occupation. What does he do?
He's a lieutenant for the city of Shelbyville, and he's on the SWAT team and firearms, things like that. So he's very busy.
Busy.
Yeah.
Also, what do you have any funny stories or anything to tell about him? He probably won't watch this.
I really don't have anything quite funny or whatever, but I did always used to be told that he was following me around town,
Stalking
in
you?
the police car to get my number. And so that's maybe the funny thing I
So
could
he's
say.
been on the department a long time too. Then.
Yeah, 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll need to bring him in to confirm that.
Yeah, and he ran her plates.
Is this true?
So he could call her.
Is this true?
Well, you get a question of the day. All of our guests, Tangity, always get a question of the day. And the guest gets to go first, right, Ryan?
Yep.
And so what is how do I phrase this?
The guest goes first so we can cheat.
That's
off our
right.
hands. Yeah.
They have
If
a better
you're-
one than we have.
Right. We can always roll with the punches.
So on our phones, we have a wallpaper. What is your phone? I didn't have one until I got one later. But what is the wallpaper you have on your phone? Well, I didn't know how to put it on. I'll
Right,
get to
there
my
you
part
go.
in a second.
Okay. All right.
What is your wallpaper and what is the story behind it?
Mine is my family. All of us were together. We purchased some farm ground a couple years ago and had a picture taken of us on the deck or the dock.
Who
So-
all? Both girls and the son?
And Jake, yeah, and my husband and I, and then my oldest daughter has a couple animals, so she had her dogs that day, and so we
Can you
have.
flip it up? I don't know if one of the cameras can catch it.
No,
Look at that.
this way.
Nice.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's 31 acres in Switzerland County, so it's really nice. And
A lot of turkey and deer and
Yep.
critters.
Mushrooms.
yep, well, there wasn't any the other day. My husband and my son went Tuesday, and not quite ready yet.
I wouldn't know where they were ready. I can't see them. They'd have to be 3 foot tall.
My dad can. I can't find him out there. Well, mine is kind of similar. My little girl, Kate, she is 12 years old. And, that camera. Thank you. And hi, Kate. And
She's off there now.
She's off. All right. But I didn't have any wallpaper. And Kate's like, you don't have any wallpaper. And after about 6 or 7 clicks later, this is my wallpaper on my phone.
So she picked her favorite picture.
I guess she
Yep.
did.
There you
yeah.
go. There you go. All right, mine is you can't really see it because it doesn't scale well with mine, but it's a picture of my wife and I, Carla. We went jeeping, and when you go jeeping, most people who are familiar with Jeeps, you get ducked by people. They leave little rubber ducks on your Jeep. That's a thing amongst Jeepers. And so you can't see it in that picture, but we were ducked by a very extravagant duck that had a dog tag on it and the whole 9 yards. And it told who they were, what Jeep club they were with. And so we took a selfie with our new duck. So, and that's when you meet Jeeps that have the entire dash covered with ducks, that's what that came with. So we had been ducked, and we had ducked a few people.
So you just leave them on the dash then?
Yep.
Yeah. Not always. I mean, because when you run with the top off and the doors off and you run the 65 mile an hour,
Lose your ducks.
you can lose your ducks. So we have lost one of our ducks. We've had a casualty, but so far we've managed to keep all the ones we have now. So
Where do y'all go with these Jeep outings? Because I know a lot of people, but I've never seen them anywhere.
we don't do a whole lot of running with them. We've been to. We went to Moonshine, Illinois, and had a hamburger, and then we went to KZ and looked at all the. Yeah, KZ, Illinois got all the big stuff. You don't know what that. So
Not
they've
at all.
got like the world's largest mailbox and the world's largest mouse trap and the world's. You just have to look it up. But anyway, so we do some. We just do some around. We're not in a Jeep club ourselves, so
We better get back to our guest.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a Jeep?
No, but 2 of my girlfriends do, and one of them, she goes jeeping all the time, and they both have ducks. So, yeah.
You ever
That's
go
a lot
with
of
her?
fun.
No, I haven't went with her, but every time I find a duck, an old toy of my kids, I just give the ducks to them. It's like they want them for their Jeep.
Some of them are really into it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do? What's a hobby or a pastime, Tangity?
I really enjoyed watching my kids play sports. They all were athletes, and that's been, like I'll be in Seymour this weekend for baseball. So we travel a lot, and I enjoy being outside. I like the sun. So I like planting flowers, So,
Landscaping.
I'm an
and-
outdoors person, per se. I do like to watch criminal shows, though. I like cold case criminal stuff.
CSI.
Kind of a
and
junkie in the winter on that.
Netflix.
Yeah, just whatever. Anything that's the cold case criminal minds type stuff. So,
I can't
Yeah,
stand
that's
I can't stand the unsolved ones.
I know.
I have to have a tie up at the
Yeah.
end. I got to know who did it. But
yeah.
But your husband's a detective or a lieutenant. He
Yeah.
should be able to help.
Well, I think that I'm a better detective than him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, there's a
He
lot,
won't watch this.
coming out today.
Well, he's not a detective, but I tease him and say that, I just enjoy watching that kind of stuff. So,
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So you've been in the co-op system for a while. Tell us a little bit about your work history.
yeah, 24 years this month. So
This month.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I have
Yeah.
an anniversary for my anniversary and my work anniversary. So I've been with Premier for 5 years this past month, and I was with a previous company for 19 in Shelby County. So started out just answering the phone, customer service, just was my first real job at 20 years old. So and
Yeah.
I just never left. So
Well, neat.
yeah, I enjoy the co-op system. They've been good to work with.
So what brought you to Premier Ag?
Well, they were building a plant in Shelby County and caught my eye, and I was just kind of ready for a little change after 19 years. So I decided to send my resume to Harold and just kind of see where it went. And so,
I
Worked
remember-
out.
I
Yeah,
remember
worked out.
we were having an opening house for the, how many years ago was that when we opened this office?
that would be 5 years.
5 years
yep.
ago. And we were having an open house, and you were with Katie that day walking around, and nobody knew. And Katie was like, oh, it's my cousin or something.
But I already was employed.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But
Nice.
she wouldn't announced yet.
Well, yeah, because my previous boss here, Carson, he just kind of wanted to keep it on a hush, I guess,
Yeah.
that day. So, yeah.
Keep it on the down low.
So then I showed up Monday morning, and I'm like, I'm not
Weren't you at
Katie's
the
cousin.
open
Katie's
house?
cousin's back.
Yeah.
Katie's cousin's back.
Yeah. So
What's your favorite part about your job at Premier?
I just enjoy the fact I can do different things being with the company so long, a lot of different projects and things. I don't have to just do my everyday job. There's things I've done for others in other departments to help them, things like that. I enjoy the challenge, of especially in the wintertime when we're a lot busier and interacting with different suppliers and people and
Which comes to your role. So tell us about your actual,
what I do.
yeah, a supply manager for
Um,
propane.
So we have 44 bulk plants that I monitor and make sure that they get a load of gas in them, every day or how often needed. We, combine the east and the west side. So on top of monitoring that, and then when it comes in, I do the invoicing after it comes in.
How many
pretty much-
bulk tanks?
We have 44 bulk tanks, and then I do all the direct loads too for the farmers and schools. We have about a little over 1 million gallons of storage
Wow.
for our bulk plants.
How do you monitor those? What's a, do you have a tank monitor?
Yeah, we have a program. It monitors them, so I get them a couple times a day, and then every time they're filled, I get notification. I can communicate with my transport drivers or with our, suppliers, whatever. So pretty much just handle all of that, and
And those transport drivers are Premier trucks and outside trucks as well.
yes.
We have both.
Yeah, we've got a
Yeah.
couple different suppliers or transport haulers plus our in-house.
How many places do you buy propane from?
I'm gonna go with maybe about 4. It depends. I mean, now combining and things, because we both had different. Probably about 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's some of the biggest challenges that come with trying to keep track of all that supply and all these trucks?
Well, it's all on an Excel spreadsheet, and you can ask Ben. I messed up one time on Excel, and he's never let me live it down. But just it's a lot of tracking. You have to pay attention and log everything. That's not as challenging, I think, as making sure you get your loads in, make sure no one runs out, and make sure, it could be the prices, the weather, supply in general, shortage, just different things. I mean, you just have to be aware of what everybody else is doing, and make sure my big goal is keeping everything full all the time, making sure we don't run out of propane.
Do you get alerts like on your phone, or how do you get notifications?
I get email. Every time a transport comes into the bulk plant, it emails me and says what percent it put it to instantly. And then if anything under 50%, it emails me and says you're down to 50. And then I get some major ones, 2 or 3 times a day. So it's really nice. Because where I come from, there wasn't monitor. Back 20 some years ago, a driver came in and said, "Hey, I need a load of gas."
Well, that's one of the things about the propane division, our energy division in a whole. I guess all of our divisions, just making sure we're a reliable supplier, making
Yes.
sure that we always have enough product where it's needed.
Correct.
when they have it. So we sell to a lot of cities, right? Municipalities, construction companies.
And the farmers, I mean, they wait till the last minute because they don't know what they're doing, or so they're going to have to shut down. So, we 5 o'clock in the morning, I might get a text, saying I need a load at 9. Can you get it? And you got to finagle all that.
So our farmer tanks or anybody who could hold a semi load or a transport, do you have tank monitors on all those, or are you relying on customers to call?
The farmers, the schools I do, a couple schools we do, but not the farmers. They just call me, and we lock in some gas with them for the season. Some of them use, 4 or 5 loads through the season. They know they're going to have them, but I don't know when they're going to need them, and they don't. So we work it out. We text, we email, and we just build that relationship with them and kind of know. So
a lot of trust on.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking that's something going on every day.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like it when it's busy. I do better busy. I like to stay busy.
Yeah,
good.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. What's your biggest professional success story? What are you most proud of in your career, besides being on the podcast?
Which is a highlight for most people.
Well, I guess I kind of grew when I came to Premier from where I was at with Shelby County Co-op. So I mean, I'm feel good about where I'm at in my role here. So I guess that would be.
And you land at multiple locations. You have multiple offices, correct?
I mean, when I first started here, obviously I had to they were building the Bogstown plant, but I would go to Greensburg because it's 15 minutes from my house, and then Bogstown plant's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So,
okay.
But I feel like, you can do your job most people can do their job from anywhere. We've kind of experienced that, which is nice. The monitors, the emails, the phone calls. I mean, if you have all your tools, you can do it from anywhere.
Yep.
So, and I enjoyed going to Greensburg and chatting with those people, and then being at Bogstown, being with that group. And, I know a lot of the farmers from Shelby County, so it's nice to see their faces and talk to them when they come in.
So what do you like most about working at Premier Ag?
I like the fact that they're very flexible with me for my situation, being an hour drive. They've been really good to me, and I'm a loyal person, and I feel like Premier's been loyal to me.
Yeah.
So that's a win.
It is fun. It's a great place. All of us have personal lives, and sometimes those things get disrupted.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens, but kids have injuries or all kinds of things, and we try to cover for each other best we can. Although I don't see me and Ryan taking your spot to cover for you.
Well, I couldn't take your spots either, so.
well, that's what we'll just keep everybody believing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No doubt. So, is there anything else that you highlight that sticks out in your mind? You want people to know about you or your job, or that's a tough question.
Not really.
You had no anxiety about this podcast at all coming in, did you?
No, but no, there's really not a lot.
What's a funny story?
That's what I was going to tell you. I have a funny story.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not bad, but it was embarrassing for
I like
me.
how you looked over at Kyle off camera.
Right. The guy who could edit it out saying, here's an FYI.
It's not bad, but to me it was kind of funny but embarrassing. So my very first day here ever.
The open house or the actual
No,
Monday?
my first day, and I'm nervous. I just drove an hour, and I needed to go to the ladies' room as soon as I got here because, I drank coffee and everything. So I went straight upstairs to Carson, and I said, "Where's your restroom?" And he takes me to the restroom, and I go in there, and it's pitch black. So I'm like, maybe I'm not smart enough to figure out these fancy lights. And I still don't. And I still don't. And I'm like, well, I'm in here. So anyways, come out of the bathroom and Carson's standing there and he goes, I am so sorry. The bathrooms in the female restroom they're out.
The lights.
And I was in there in the dark.
Nice.
All by myself.
With your cell phone
I
light.
had my cell phone, thank God. I was so embarrassed, and he was so embarrassed because he was just kind of waiting for me outside the door, like, oh man, he couldn't come
Well,
and
that's
get
a
me.
pretty nice office to not have lights in.
Yeah. What place did I sign up for?
Right. Seems like a nice place when I went through open house.
Yeah. Well, I just was like, well, I don't know how to turn these lights on. I just might not be
Wasn't
smart
your
enough.
fault. It
No,
just didn't work.
It was just funny in the moment because we didn't know each
Yeah.
other, and
Still funny.
it was pretty funny. So,
5 years later, still kind
Pretty
of funny.
awkward. Yeah, pretty awkward.
so it was kind of awkward, but
For sure.
Well, do you have any other stories you want to tell?
no,
All right.
I don't think so. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, thank you for the job you do.
Oh,
we
thank
we
you.
like these employee spotlights.
Thank
It's
you.
nice for everybody to get names with faces and
Yeah.
job titles
It
and
does help.
see the people behind the scenes because there's a lot of us with the new acquisitions and all that. I mean, we've talked about it before. We have coworkers 2 states away now,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
And so many roles
Yeah.
that everybody plays. And I got a text message, one of our coworkers, kind of a shout out that, what a good job he was doing today. And I couldn't do my job if it weren't for him. And I
Nice.
think that's the same way is that, none of us could, if we weren't all doing our roles,
Right.
we couldn't get everything done.
Right.
Sounds kind of like a Yogi Berra statement,
Yeah.
but
Exactly. Yeah.
well, that's all I've got too. Ryan, you have anything else?
Nope. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, that's another episode of The High Ground powered by Premier Companies. And please like and subscribe and tune in for the next one.